You are recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. We've heard a lot tonight about figures and statistics, but we haven't really been talking that much about ordinary Californians. And I have to tell you, this legislation has prompted just an outpouring of emails and Facebook comments and personal phone calls. And, you know, I've had the pleasure of speaking with dozens of residents of my district and really asked them, how does this impact their lives? How will this legislation, this tremendous gas tax increase, impact their lives? And I just want to share with you a couple stories from people that had never reached out to an elected representative before this legislation came across and they saw it in the news. I want to talk to you about Juan Robles. Juan Robles is an outside salesman. He sells rock, like rock from a quarry. It's a new company, just started working in California. It's got a home-based office. He drives an average of 200 miles a day. 200 miles a day. And when I asked him the question, I said, how will this legislation impact you? What he said to me was, I don't think the company will continue to do business in California. It's just too expensive. That's a really big deal. He supports himself, his wife, his children. They invest in our community, and they matter. This job matters to Juan Robles and his family. Now, I had a chance to speak with Brett Murray and his wife, Terry. Now Brett served 10 years in the United States Army and 1 year in the National Guard out of Fort Irwin. And he currently works in Moreno Valley, and he drives from Rancho Cucamonga. That's about an 80-mile drive each day. He works as a park ranger, and he enjoys his job quite a bit. His wife drives to L.A. County as a restaurant manager. They have 2 children that are 10 years old and 1 child that's 2 years old. They drop their children off in Rancho Cucamonga, and they actually ask their in-laws to assist them to pick up their kids because, like so many families in California, we are stretched very thin to be able to make ends meet. And so their in-laws graciously help, and they pick up their kids after school. And I asked him the same question. I said, how will this legislation impact your life? And he says, you know, Mark, my wife and I, we've been renting here in Rancho Cucamonga for over 7 years, and we've been saving money. We bring our lunches to work. We don't go out for expensive restaurants. We don't go to Starbucks and have that extra coffee a day. We have been saving our money so that we could afford a down payment on a home because we believe that home ownership is the middle-class pathway to success. And they just don't know if they can now. This difference in the cost of gasoline that we look at as being minimal, it's not, folks. This is tremendous to the people that we represent, to these families and to these communities. Now, we've been having this debate today as if we're not already paying a tax. We are. We're already paying a tax. And we've heard the analogy that there's a leak in your roof, you need to fix the roof before that leak ruins the carpet. Well, okay, let's take that analogy. We've paid to replace the roof with the amount of taxes that we've already put forward, and the repairman never showed up. He never came to fix our roof. So why in the world should I go back to Juan, to Terry, to Brett, and say, you need to pay again? You need to pay again. You need to trust that this time the repairman's going to show up, because I can't do that. I can't do that in good, honest faith. Look them in the eyes and say that you're going to give us more money today and that this body will actually see that money go to where it needs to go. I have to say, folks, this is a tremendous burden that we are placing on the backs of ordinary Californians. And, you know, we're all sent here for a reason. We're all sent here to be the voice of our districts, of the people that we represent. And I have to tell you, right now we are failing the people of my district. They work very hard to make ends meet, and this is an extra burden that, frankly, they've already paid for. They pay for it every single day that they fill up at the pump, and we should not continue to put more on the backs of ordinary, hardworking Californians. I cannot support this bill.